Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to 15 incredible geography facts about the US. I do a lot of these reactions, and I feel like there's going to be a point where I'm going to just be doing reactions to facts that I've seen and heard pretty often, or just once or twice. I've just heard them before, but I still enjoy doing these because I always find out new things. So for as long as I can keep doing these, I'm going to keep finding videos that I can react to like this, where just random facts, geography facts and stuff like that, because I just find it really fascinating. But we're going to jump into this reaction. Hopefully you're doing well, hopefully you're going to enjoy, and let's learn some more facts about the US.
I guarantee you don't know just how weird and fascinating US geography is. If you want to wow your friends and acquaintances at the next party you go to, here are 15 incredible facts you need to know about geography of the United States. And let's start with the state that's both the easternmost and westernmost state in the US. We're talking about Alaska. This fascinating geographic quirk comes from the fact that the Aleutian Islands, a very long chain of volcanic islands extending from Alaska into the Pacific Ocean, crosses the 180th meridian, the imaginary line that separates.
This is one that I've heard many times. Is this to do with the time difference? How you're in different, like, it's different time, different days actually. People here, this side, the left side, are, I guess they're a day ahead, aren't they? I guess that is what it would be. Wait, no. Americans, yeah, because Americans are, when I wake up, it's early in America. Yeah, so this is a day ahead.
It's the western and eastern hemispheres.
I think it's
because
anyway.
Some of the islands lie west of this line, Alaska is both in the western and eastern hemispheres, making it technically the easternmost US state. This is an odd distinction, as we typically associate the easternmost points of the US with places like Maine, but geographically, Alaska holds the title for both.
There you go. Although I'm surprised it's not Hawaii. I thought Hawaii would be that side, but I guess not.
Since we're already talking about the eastern seaboard, which state do you think is closest to Africa? It might seem
It's gonna be Massachusetts.
surprising, but Maine is...
Oh, Maine. I've definitely seen this one before. I was just looking at the map. How is... I mean, I guess this part here, right? Damn.
Geographically closer to Africa than Florida. Specifically, the distance from Quoddy Head, Maine, the easternmost point of the United States, to El Beduza, Morocco, is roughly 3,154 miles. In contrast, the distance from Miami, Florida, to the same point in Morocco is about 4,025 miles.
Oh, it's loads closer. Although I guess Florida's probably closer to a place like here,
making Maine closer by about 800 miles. This surprising fact is due to the curvature of the Earth and the positioning of the continents. While Florida sits much farther south and is closer to the equator, which runs through the heart of Africa, Maine's location is much farther east, and Africa extends much farther north than many people realize. This geographic quirk highlights the often unexpected results of global geography, where straight lines on maps don't always tell the full story due to Earth's spherical shape. It's a fascinating reminder of how the Earth's geometry can make certain locations appear closer than we might expect, based purely on latitude.
There we go. The East has so many more people.
The population...
Yeah, because the West has so many areas that, actually no, the East is all very populated. It's this region here, realistically, that's got a low population. Here as well, I guess, like this region's the northern regions, like around here and then here. But I don't know. California alone probably gets it very close. Actually, it's probably the West, isn't it? Because you've got some major cities along here. I don't know, man. I mean, if this counts as the East Coast here, then it's definitely the East Coast.
Population distribution of the United States.
Like these, but they don't, do they? These don't count as the East Coast. It's probably from here, right? I mean, that would be dumb. This is not the East Coast, of course. It doesn't include Louisiana and Texas, etc.
States is strikingly uneven. If we were to draw a line just west of San Antonio, Texas, about 80% of the country's population would live east of it, while only 20% resides to the west. This divide reflects both historical patterns and geographic factors. The western side of the country includes major urban centers like New York, Chicago, and Washington, D.C., areas that have been developed and densely populated since the colonial era. In contrast, the western U.S., despite containing large cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco, is more sparsely populated, largely due to vast stretches of desert, mountains, and wilderness. The West's harsh and rugged landscapes, such as the Rocky Mountains and deserts of the Southwest, have historically made large-scale settlement difficult. Even today, much of the land west of San Antonio consists of national parks, forests, and protected areas, contributing to the population imbalance. And one of the best examples of these sparsely populated western states is Wyoming.
Wyoming is dominated by cattle.
Wyoming is, of course, known for its vast open spaces and rugged landscapes. But perhaps most notably, it's known for its extremely low population. In fact, Wyoming's population is so low that it actually has more cattle than people. With a population of just over 580,000, it ranks as the least populous state in the US. Meanwhile, the state's agricultural industry is dominated by cattle ranching, with roughly...
Oh, it's more than double. It's more than double. Holy shit. That is mad. When you think about farming, and then I mean, it makes sense in a state like this, to be honest. But when you think about farming, the amount of animals needed, because obviously a lot of these cattle will be killed and used for meat, but then I guess still they managed to maintain the amount of 1.2 million. That is so cool. It's pretty interesting. I mean, I imagine the farmers have a lot. I mean, I don't know how many farmers will live here or be working with all these cattle, but it's probably like one farmer owns, I'd say like what, over 200 cattle? I don't know how you do the maths for that, but no, probably more. There's probably massive farms that I can't really comprehend. Is 200 cattle a lot for a farm? It's probably not. You probably have like over 1,000.
Twice as many cows as people. Cattle grazing plays a significant role in the state's economy, with beef being one of Wyoming's key exports. This reflects the broader trend in many western states, where large stretches of land are devoted to ranching and population densities remain very low.
The longest international border with Canada,
stretching approximately 5,525
but yeah, Alaska too, yeah, definitely.
miles, the longest international border in the world is between the United States and Canada. This immense boundary runs from the Atlantic Ocean in the east to the Pacific in the west, crossing diverse landscapes such as the Great Lakes, prairies, forests, and mountains. It also includes the border between Alaska and Canada, which alone spans over 1,500 miles. Despite its length, the US-Canada border is known for being relatively peaceful and unfortified, in stark contrast to many other international boundaries. Both countries maintain a healthy relationship, and their shared border facilitates extensive trade and cultural exchange. Additionally, the two countries have various agreements to manage their border, including the Great Lakes St. Lawrence River Basin Sustainable Water Resources Agreement, as well as various partnerships for national parks that straddle the boundary. Speaking of the Great Lakes, Lake Superior, Michigan, Huron, Erie, and Ontario are a global freshwater treasure, holding about 21% of all surface freshwater on Earth. These 5 interconnected lakes contain over 6 quadrillion gallons of water, providing drinking water.
Is this 20? This is throughout the world, isn't it? That is mad. 21% of all surface fresh water just here.
For over 40 million people in the US and Canada. Formed by retreating glaciers at the end of the last ice age, the Great Lakes span more than 94,000 square miles and are vital to North America's ecology and economy. Together, they support a vast array of fish and wildlife and serve as important trade routes, with shipping channels connecting the heartland of North America to the Atlantic in both the east and south. Today, the Great Lakes water is protected by the Great Lakes Compact, a legally binding interstate agreement between Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Minnesota, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and the Canadian provinces of Ontario and Quebec. Sorry to break up your 15 geography facts, but I wanted to give you an extra fact.
Go on.
Rectangular
Get that money,
shape,
baby.
but it's real. Now let's take a look at Colorado. This state is known for its rectangular shape, but its real borders are not as straight as they appear on maps. When Colorado was created in 1876, its borders were meant to follow specific lines of latitude and longitude. However, the tools used for surveying in the 19th century were not as precise as modern GPS technology, leading to slight inaccuracies. Over time, as more accurate surveys have been conducted, minor corrections have been made to the state's boundaries. These changes are mostly imperceptible to the average person, but demonstrate how geography and human technology can influence the way we define political borders. The same phenomenon can be found in other states with supposedly straight borders.
I think it would be pretty much impossible to have a straight border as well. Unless they just somehow managed to do so, but especially in the times the borders were made, it would be near enough impossible. Alaska has the largest rainforest in the US, I assume. But does it? I've not heard this fact before. Alaska has... This is weird because I associate rainforests with like tropical climates. So you've obviously got the Amazon, and you've got the massive rainforest in the Congo. I can't remember what it's called, which is annoying. And yeah, you just get a rainforest like you get like in tropical regions. Obviously, I know it's not all necessarily tropical, but more or less. But this is the opposite, so I'm interested to see this one.
Surprisingly, the largest rainforest in the United States isn't located in Hawaii or Florida, but in Alaska. The Tongass National Forest, covering over 6...
Oh, it's in this whole region here. Does anyone live in this region? I mean, I assume there's probably a very small population.
15.7 million acres, is the largest national forest in the country and is also a temperate rainforest. Located in southeast Alaska, it forms part of the Pacific Temperate Rainforest, the largest remaining temperate rainforest in the world. The Tongass is characterized by its dense old-growth forests of Sitka spruce, western hemlock, and red cedar, along with a rich array of wildlife including bears, wolves, and salmon. The forest plays a crucial role in local ecosystems, supporting biodiversity and regulating the climate by absorbing carbon dioxide. It's also a vital resource for the indigenous communities who have lived in the region for thousands of years.
Answers my question.
However, as with other rainforests, the Tongass is threatened by logging and climate change, sparking debates about conservation efforts.
I do hope they keep it. I feel like there's probably is there certain like say rainforests, the trees, is there better like logging that you can do there, or could you not do it from other forests and stuff? I guess I don't know. I'm not really sure about how it works, but I guess they're so big. Hopefully, there's a point where they'll stop and let it regrow or whatever. But I don't really know how it works. Neighbors in extreme elevations. Huh?
In California, Mount Whitney and Death Valley are only 85 miles apart, yet they represent two of the most extreme points in the contiguous United States. Mount Whitney, standing at 14,505 feet, is the tallest mountain in the lower 48 states, while Badwater Basin in Death Valley, at 282 feet below sea level, is the lowest point. This proximity between such extreme elevations is a result of the unique tectonic and erosional forces that shape California's landscape. Death Valley's basin formed due to the stretching and thinning of the Earth's crust, while Mount Whitney rose from...
Imagine being the people building this road.
His basin formed due to the...
I can only imagine how hot this is all year round. And I don't know how recently this was built, but I can't imagine it was like in the last 20 years. Like with technology now, it would still be very hard to do this. But you can understand how it's done. But whenever this was initially made for the first time, I cannot imagine how that would have been, man. Because this road will stretch for hundreds of miles as well.
Stretching and thinning of the Earth's crust, while Mount Whitney rose from tectonic collisions. Together, they highlight the dramatic geologic diversity of the state.
The Mississippi River Basin is incredibly large.
The Mississippi River Basin is one of the largest drainage systems in the world, covering 1.2 million square miles and draining water from 41% of the United States. The basin spans 31 states and includes major rivers like the Missouri and Ohio, all flowing into the Mississippi River before emptying into the Gulf of Mexico. This vast watershed is essential for agriculture, transportation, and freshwater resources in the U.S. The Mississippi River alone is about 2,340 miles long, making it the second longest river in the country, behind the Missouri River, a tributary of the Mississippi. The river basin supports a variety of ecosystems, from wetlands and forests to prairies and mountains, and is home to millions of people and countless species of wildlife. However, the river system is also prone to flooding and faces significant environmental issues such as pollution from agricultural runoff. Once these nutrients, vital for farming, end up in the Gulf, they feed algae, which chokes off any other marine life present. But the size of the Mississippi is not even the most interesting fact about this famous river.
Oh. How does this work? It flows backwards. Okay.
In 1811 and 1812, a series of massive earthquakes in the central United States caused the Mississippi River to flow backward temporarily. The New Madrid earthquakes, as they became known, were so powerful that they caused ground subsidence, which forced the river to reverse its course in some places. The shaking caused waterfalls to form in certain stretches of the river, and eyewitnesses reported seeing water moving upstream. This event is one of the most remarkable in U.S. geologic history and demonstrates the power of tectonic forces even far away from active fault lines. Today, seismic activity in the New Madrid seismic zone still poses a risk to the region.
So it could happen again. That's pretty wild. The graveyard of the Pacific Ocean. What the hell?
The Graveyard of the Pacific is a treacherous stretch of coastline along the Pacific Northwest, particularly the waters around the Columbia River Bar, where more than 2,000 ships have met their fate. This notorious area stretches from Oregon's coast to Vancouver Island, British Columbia, and is infamous for its dangerous weather conditions, strong currents, and shifting sandbars. In fact,
wait, so there's actually reasons behind it.
The Columbia Bar is one of the most hazardous river entrances in the world.
Forget the Bermuda Triangle, we need to be talking about this place.
Where the powerful Columbia River meets the Pacific Ocean, extreme waves and shifting sand create perilous conditions that have claimed countless ships. This hazardous area has been a threat to...
Is that a shipwreck? Is it just multiple shipwrecks that you can just find along the coast?
Ship captains for centuries as stormy weather...
Wait, what's this about? This isn't ships. This is just trees that have fell, I think.
Dense fog and sudden changes in water depth frequently cause vessels to run aground, capsize, or collide with hidden obstacles. Efforts to mitigate these dangers have included the construction of lighthouses, jetties, and a highly skilled team of Columbia Bar pilots who help guide ships safely across the bar. Despite these measures, the region's volatile nature continues to make it a dangerous area for navigation, maintaining its reputation as the Graveyard of the Pacific.
Damn, that's mad. The longest cave system in the world. Is this? Oh, I've definitely seen this one. It's in like Virginia or... Virginia? It doesn't matter, it's gonna come up. I just wanna see if I remember. It's somewhere either like Virginia or like in the south. Mississippi?
Kentucky's Mammoth
Kentucky. God damn it.
Cave National Park is home to the longest cave system in the world, with over 400 miles of explored passages and potentially many more yet to be discovered. Mammoth Cave has a rich history, with indigenous peoples using the caves thousands of years ago and modern explorers continuing to map its vast network of tunnels. The cave system is formed from limestone and shaped by the slow action of groundwater eroding the rock over millions of years. It contains a diverse array of subterranean ecosystems, including unique species of fish and bats. The cave's size and complexity make it a marvel of natural geology.
That's pretty mad. There's its own species there. America's largest desert is growing.
Do you know the US is home to both hot and cold deserts? Unlike the hot deserts of the American Southwest, the Great Basin, located in Nevada and Utah, experiences cold winters, often with snowfall.
What? In Nevada? Okay, wait, what? I knew it gets cold, but there's snowfall in these deserts. I'm so baffled by that.
However, as temperatures rise and precipitation patterns vary due to climate change, the desert's boundaries are slowly extending. This expansion impacts local ecosystems, water resources, and agriculture. The Great Basin is already one of the driest areas in North America, and its growth highlights the broader environmental challenges of a warming planet.
But Hawaii is also literally growing. Okay, what is this to do? Because I mean, Hawaii is just made up of like volcanoes, isn't it? And I guess they sort of prop up over time. So I guess the land is slowly just getting higher and higher, causing more land to be added. Is that how it works?
Hawaii,
probably a very dummy way to put it, but
specifically the Big Island, is the only U.S. state that's physically growing. This is due to the ongoing volcanic activity of Kilauea, one of the most active volcanoes on Earth. When lava from Kilauea flows into the ocean, it cools and solidifies.
This is how it's making land. Okay, that is mad.
Adding new land to the island's coastline.
Is this just how it is all the time? Imagine seeing this.
flows into the ocean, it cools and solidifies, adding new land to the island's coastline. Over the past few decades, Kilauea has continuously erupted, increasing the island's size by hundreds of acres. The volcanic activity also
Really?
shapes Hawaii's landscapes,
Is it usable land though? Probably not.
from black sand beaches to towering lava cliffs. While the eruptions can be destructive to human settlements, they are also responsible for creating the fertile, lush landscapes that make Hawaii
That is mad. I mean, yeah, I guess this is the land that it was initially doing this to hundreds of thousands of years ago, or just thousands of years ago, or whatever. Yeah, it makes the beauty, which is, I guess, why Hawaii looks the way it does.
so unique. There's many more fascinating
I did like that Hawaii fact. That was pretty cool. I didn't actually know it was growing, so the more you know. As a New Zealander, I don't see what's unusual about having more cattle than people. Hey, man, it means there's more food for the ones of us that eat beef or drink milk or eat cheese, you know. So I ain't complaining. But yeah, Wyoming isn't the only state where cows outnumber people. South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana, Idaho, Iowa, Nebraska. Okay, there's a lot. How many cows or how many cattle are in the US? Okay, of the 870.2 million head inventory, all cows and heifers, whatever that is, that have calves totaled. Wait, what is going on? There are 28 million beef cows. Right. The number of so there's different. Okay, I should have probably known this. There's different cows for different things. So the number of milk cows. Okay, I'm gonna. This video now is gonna end with me just searching loads of stuff up. Versus, well, not milk cow versus. I'm just gonna be learning stuff now because I didn't really know there was a thing. There's a difference. So will milk cows never be used for their meat then? Dairy cows are bred to make milk, so their energy goes into. Oh, I see. Isn't it mad how humans figured this stuff out? Like, I feel like it's just crazy that we managed to like learn all this stuff and over. Like, this is going to be hundreds and thousands of years ago, not hundreds of years ago. We learned to do this sort of stuff. Can a dairy cow be used for meat? The meat is currently turned into low quality ground beef. I see. Also, I wanted to search how many cattle are there in the UK. I'm going to guess 2 million for beef. If we're looking at the US and it was that level, 2 billion for like beef cows and then maybe like 1.5 million for milk cows. Oh. Just under 9.6. Wait. The number of cattle and calves in the UK has decreased by 0.8%. Oh, damn, it's going down. The breeding herd accounts for over a third of total cattle. Okay, what about how many pigs? Let's see this. I'm now just looking at this from like the UK to the US. So there's 4.7 million in the UK. 75 million. So is pork the number one? I guess what base of this is, it's the number one eaten meat. Obviously, there's a higher population in the US, but what about? Okay, there's not much lamb, is there? So how many sheep are in the US? 5.2 million. UK will be high, won't it? 31.8 million. It's mad because I don't really eat lamb, so I don't really understand. Like I don't really see like I see beef and chicken more. Chicken, there's another one. There we go. Chicken in the UK, 29 million. 29 million laying hens and 160 million broilers. Okay. So I guess with that, the chicken that's being eaten are not thin chickens that are kept in cages or battery farms. They're like fed good, I guess. I mean, I don't actually know. How many chicken are in the US? How many chicken are in the US? Look at the grammar. Oh my god. What? The US is leading country of chicken production with 9.2 billion chickens. Holy shit. Well, what's AI saying then? AI is just chatting shit. Makes sense though, because chickens are a lot smaller. What about turkey? How many turkeys? Alright. I'll just put turkey in it, man. It's giving me the answers I need. How many turkey are in the US? Now let's look at the UK. So 6.5 million. Turkmens No. How many turkeys are in the UK? Wait, okay. They're saying there's more in the UK. There's 40 million turkeys that are farmed and slaughtered, but that's maybe a bit different. This is probably getting a bit dark for some people, but I am just fascinated by this. Okay, that's not showing. Okay, what else is there that I can do this for? What about like what's the most eaten meat in like China? How many cows are in China? 105 million. Oh, there's a lot then, so they like that. What about pork? I feel like pork's probably quite popular there, isn't it? 434 million. The US was 75 million, wasn't it? I guess China's insanely populated. What about chickens? 5.1 billion. Oh, so it's less than the US apparently. Okay, well there you go. I'm just looking at random shit now. Yeah. I don't know where this video went to. Sorry about that. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this reaction. And yeah, until next time, like, subscribe, and peace.